Welcome back to another episode, and I've got my good mate Leroy here, who's got another Mooer MultiFX with him today. Which one is it today, man?
Hey Trav, today we're looking at the GE100. Right, so the GE100 is best value multi-effects pedal that Mooer do. So it contains 66 effects across 8 effect modules. It's got 23 drive sounds in it, which sound really good, and 7 amp sims in it as well. It's got 80 factory preset patches and 80 user patches, so you can save all of your sounds and settings in all the user patches, so you get 80 of those. It's also got a whole bunch of practice tools, as well as it's got a 180-second looper. It's got a drum machine with 40 different rhythms. It's also got 10 different metronome patterns. Really good for learning and mucking around at home and keeping you interested in playing for longer. It's also got built-in scales and chords dictionary as well, especially for younger people who are not quite sure of a chord or a scale structure. They can take a look inside the unit and it'll give them a bit of direction. It's also got a big LCD display, and you can assign the expression pedal to various different parameters, which is really, really cool. You can also run this unit on batteries as well, so it's definitely friendly to buskers, etc. Anyway, let's take a close look at the screen and dive into the menu. All right, so here we are. We've got basically a letter and then 2 numbers in at the moment. This is telling us we're in the user bank. So when we save sounds from the preset bank, they'll automatically save into the same numbered slot, but in the U bank. The user bank is the ones that you can adjust. The benefit of this is it keeps the preset banks all the same as what they were when the unit originally came. So if you ever muck around with a sound and you think you may have made it not as good as it was originally, you can always go back to the preset bank, find the original sound, and then start again, which is a really handy feature. So across the top here, you've just got a bunch of lights basically showing you what's actually on in the chain at the moment. So you can see we've got distortion and amplifier, we've got a noise suppressor, EQ. Modulation's not on, as you can see, because it's not lit up. We've got a delay and a reverb. And they just call this 80s distortion. So it's, basically based off a crunchy 1980s kind of drive sound. And then we've got a value knob over here. So we can actually use this to switch between all the different presets. And then if we use this knob here, we can dive into actually what's inside the chain. You can see all those there. You've got a Fender Clean amplifier on there. We've got a noise gate, and we can dive into all of the levels and adjust all of that with the value knob here. And then we've got a system set up here. It just gives us our overall volume. It gives us an output as well, and also it lets you do different things to the pedal. So if we go to the pedal there, we can set it for minimum, maximum, and then the expression. The expression actually has like a toe switch, so you can actually switch it on. So it can be a volume pedal, and then if you assign it to like a wah-wah, you can then just rock it forward, push down, and then it will become a wah-wah pedal. And you can assign how hard you have to push that to actually make that come on, which is a fantastic option. And Mooer are really the first to do something like that. It makes it great for people who, might not want to stomp it with heavy boots on. They might just want to push it gently in order to actually engage that toe switch. So that's a really handy feature. All right, so we've also got some LCD settings there just to make them brighter, etc., etc. So when we go to our pedal button, basically this is just what allows us to assign to the expression pedal various different things. As you can see, you can assign reverb, modulation, octaver, gain, wah, etc. All right, we move on to our rhythm. We've got our drums there, so we can adjust our volume, our BPM, and we can also adjust our style. We've got a style across the bottom there. So that's really handy. This is our lesson. So it gives us a scale. We can also change that. It can also show chords. So if you dive into this menu, it'll actually give you a lot of information. If you're wondering how to play a certain chord, you can dive into this and it'll give you an idea of how it goes. All right, so then we've got our looper. So it actually has a 2-button looper in it as well, of course, as I mentioned at the start. So you can play, so you can record, and you can play, and you can overdub with this foot switch here, and you can stop and clear with this foot switch here. Having a 2-button looper is a really great thing to have because you don't have to double press something twice in order to make it stop, especially if you're trying to learn how to do something live, because it's much easier to press one button to stop the loop than it is to try and double tap a button. All right, so that's the GE100. Let's just take a listen to a couple of the presets. We are on the 80s distortion, like I said. Great lead with a bit of reverb and a bit of delay. All right, let's just move up to another one. All right, this is called the chorus lead. Got a nice chorus on there over the drive. Right, this is called a pitch lead. Get some really out there sounds with that one. We've got a space clean. You can hear it's got a nice long decay on the reverb. And this is called Violin. You can hear it's got a slow gear engaging and coming in and out there. All right, this is called the fifth. We've also got an acoustic simulator in there. Let's move to our neck pickup. Great way to make your electric guitar sound like an acoustic. All right, this is called Vintage Drive. Very, very usable drive. Very, very nice overdrive. All right, guys, that is the GE100. Get down to your local store and check one out. They keep you playing for hours, and the more you play, the better you get.